What's up? What's up? How's it going, everybody? Happy Thursday, y'all. Welcome back to Boxem Office Hours. As a reminder, I'm live this time every Thursday, going live to answer y'all's questions, chop it up, talk all things Amazon. So yeah, let me know. Let me know who's in chat today. Like I do every time, give me a quick check in. How's your Amazon business going for you guys? What's going good? What's not going good? Would love to just know what's going on with y'all. Couple like simple things in terms of like Amazon news, by the way, right on the beginning here. I know a lot of you guys probably saw Amazon fees going up, which is like some recent update there. Basically, the way it'll work is it should average out to be anywhere from like they're saying like anywhere from around like 17 cents per unit is how much it'll go up. So obviously annoying that we lose 17 cents per sale. Prices all with these things, prices always go up over time. The customers end up kind of paying the difference, but just kind of be on the lookout for that. I think it goes into effect. Let me make sure. Yeah, April 17th on my notes. So April 17th, fees are going up on Amazon by like 17 cents per item on average. They're calling it because of the like increase of gas prices and that kind of things. Whether that's they just want to raise prices is another thing, but yeah, just kind of be aware of that. And yeah, let me know what other questions you guys have about selling on Amazon. If you guys are new, I've been personally selling on Amazon myself for about 7 years now. I've done over $7 million in that time period, and right now, pretty much buy and sell everything from big major retail websites. So, yeah, let me know what questions you guys have. Lots of very cool stuff being worked on for Boxem right now. We're about to be able to just release an insane amount of cool stuff for you guys. But if you are not already using Boxem, make sure you check that out as well. It's basically how you can get auto ungated, make shipments faster, track your profit. There's an AI that can help you source kind of the whole 9 yards, kind of manage your whole business and stuff. So go check that out. You can try it for free. And yeah, let me know what questions you guys have here. Let's see. What's up, Sherry? Good evening from Ohio. How's it going? Over here in Tennessee right now. So you got hit with a Section 3 in October. Is there anything you can do? So Section 3s are completely normal and they're just like random selection. It's like random checkpoint is how you can think of it. It's Amazon just basically saying like, hey, we're picking random sellers. We need you specifically to prove that your inventory is legit. So all you need to do is just prove that your inventory is legit. It's one of the easier like account health reviews and that kind of thing to win because it's completely random. You didn't do anything wrong to trigger it. They're just saying, hey, we need to make sure that these random Amazon sellers are legit. So you got unlucky or whatever, however you want to look at it, but you just submit your documents and you'll be good to go. There's different reasons why they might give you a Section 3 review as well. So check and see if that's like a specific product they want to see. I've also been seeing them like thinking weird, like Amazon accounts are linked to accounts they're not. So if you've ever logged into your Amazon account on like public Wi-Fi, which is a terrible idea to begin with, don't log in on like anything important on public Wi-Fi. But that's where a lot of people are accidentally getting their Amazon accounts linked to accounts they have they have no knowledge of. So that's just kind of something to be on the lookout for. Sweet. Yeah, let me know what else you guys are running into as we're going here. How do you handle account suspension risk and keeping your account safe long term? So, like we're just talking about, make sure you're always buying from legitimate retailers, legitimate wholesalers, suppliers, anything like that. Just always make sure you can trust exactly who you are buying inventory from. So, like for my business, that's going to be local retail stores that are obviously legitimate. For the majority of my products are going to come from online retail stores. And yeah, sweet. Sweet. And then another just quick thing. I know a lot of you guys kind of already ran into this. As if you've been in the Amazon seller world at all, it feels like some people are like living under a rock and like it still snuck up on them. Even like veteran Amazon sellers, the payment system has changed. So we've talked about it a couple times, but in my mind, if you're a pure FBA seller, the new payment system's better. If you're an FBM seller, it's a little bit worse. Because now you get paid 7 days after the item is delivered. And given that most FBA items are delivered in 1 to 3 days, that means you actually get paid faster than the 14 days that it used to take to get paid, which is kind of nice if you're an all FBA seller. Now, like I said, it's probably a net negative if you're an FBM seller. So yeah, just kind of keep that in mind. We're getting paid a little bit sooner if you're an FBA seller, which is kind of nice. And yeah. Sweet. Yeah. So let me know what questions you guys have as well. Also, since we're here for Boxem office hours, let me know if you guys have specific things that you just wish an Amazon tool could ever do for you. And there's a good chance we might be able to make it happen over the next couple months here. Lots of cool developments and stuff that are making it possible for us to make all kinds of stuff. So, even your wildest ideas, let me know. We might be able to build it for you. Yeah, and then I see a bunch of you guys are popping in over here on TikTok. So let me know if you guys have questions about selling on Amazon. One of the easiest ways to just like get your first sales is literally just going to a retail store. I actually posted a video on YouTube a couple days ago. It's doing pretty well, where I literally spent 40 minutes. I called it like the lunch break challenge, basically. So I gave myself 40 minutes to walk into a store and see how much profit I could find, and did pretty decent, all things considered. I think it ended up being like a couple $100 in profit or so. I guess spoiling the video a little bit, but you can see like how I found things and what those good products look like. But yeah, just going to like local retail stores is a good way to start. Is there a way you could source clearance on any website running AI? So like sourcing with AI isn't really there yet. It'd probably take a while because there's a lot of nuance to sourcing, right? Because for a long time, there's been tools where you can like plug in UPCs and product names and that kind of thing, and it'll try to go like match and find sources all over the internet. And those still haven't been something that I rely on personally, because those always miss the best products. So to be honest, like a lot of AI sourcing tools and stuff, if they're not using UPC matching, then they're going to be like extremely expensive, at least how it is now. So there's still a lot of like a ton of opportunity in buying the 12 pack and separating it into 3 packs, or buying the shampoo and conditioner separately and combining those, or even just like on an individual basis, right? Like going to, let's say like Gap.com, right? You go to Gap.com, you wait for there to be a coupon, then there's a discounted gift card, and there's a you're able to like plug in like loyalty rewards, that kind of thing, right? So you're creating all these different ways to create discounts. Let's see. Doesn't Boxem have AI sourcing? So yeah. So I mean, you're not going to sit there and click a button and it's going to spit out profitable products. But yeah, you're totally right. You can go on Boxem and say, like for example, like, hey, I found this item at Macy's. It's not quite profitable. Like, show me how to make it profitable, and it can explain that to you. Or I'll go in and I'll say, hey, I found this like 3-pack of T-shirts. Where might be the cheapest place that I could look into it? And just based on context, I can tell you where to look. But it's not like there's no AI where you can just like click a button and it's like buying profitable things for you. That would be cool. Maybe we're not super far away, but there's a lot of nuance. Let's see. What's up, Trip? You said, how long does it usually take for Amazon to respond on an ungating application after you provide additional info? Usually like within like 24 hours. But I've noticed it seems like different brands and maybe even like different categories go to different departments, different people, something like that. Because I've noticed some specific brand, like for example, grocery was like an instant ungate for me, with an invoice, obviously. And then a lot of people have said the same. And then some like random like premium brands and stuff might take a little bit longer. So that's just like a theory there. Maybe you hit something that was a little bit more backed up or something like that. Let's see, for any new sellers, are there any websites you recommend for sourcing? Vitacost? Yeah, Vitacost is good. Like I wouldn't get too attached to, buy from this specific website. You want to build just like a super simple daily process of understanding what's cheap today, right? Because one day, you're right, maybe Vitacost is an awesome place to source, but then the very next day it could be one of the worst places on the internet, right? Because maybe a coupon they had went away, or now there's no like clearance deals, there's no sales going on. That is going to obviously make that a worse place to source. So in order to figure out where to source, I will just usually pull up like 5, 10, 15 of my favorite websites. If you don't have favorite websites yet, you can just like go to big major retailers, or I also have a list of like 100 places I like to source from. That's a free guide that's in the free Amazon course we have for you guys. It's up here or down below, depending on what platform you're on. And you can just start referencing those sites and say, oh, there's a 25% sale today. Okay, cool. And taking that a step further, right? Let's say you want to sell craft supplies on Amazon. What you can do is you can go and figure out, all right, in the craft supplies niche, all right, Michael's, they have a sale today. There's a 25% sale at Michael's. Cool. That might make some opportunity for me to buy things that I can sell in the craft supplies category, like no ads, none of that. I can start selling that right away, right? So let me take that. Okay, there's a Michael's sale. Let me go into Boxem and run a bulk ungate scan. So you can basically just plug in a big list of products and it'll try to ungate things. So I would plug in a big list of products in the crafts category, and then that's going to spit out a list of maybe 5, 10, 15 craft specific brands that I'm auto ungated in. So your account's ungated in that for free. And then taking those brands that are cheap and then combining that, saying, hey, this brand's cheap, I'm auto ungated in it. Now let me narrow down and focus on that. So something that's cool that you can like really filter down on this is the new Seller Amp Advanced Search. I know some of you guys have like found that. So you can like go run that scan, say, all right, I got my huge list of craft supplies that are super cheap today. All right, here's the brands that I'm auto ungated in. All right, Seller Amp Advanced Search, show me all the best products in that brand that I'm just auto ungated in and is cheap today. That's like, it's kind of a cheat code basically, rather than like, manually sourcing, like randomly clicking through websites and that kind of thing. Sweet. Yeah. So a bunch of you guys here on TikTok today. So let me know if you guys have questions about selling on Amazon. I've been doing this for about 7 years myself. And if you guys want to just like learn how to do like a lot of the basics and that kind of thing, I have a ton of free content on YouTube. So you can look up Fields of Profit free course on YouTube. I made you literally like a 5-hour long free YouTube video. And I also make a couple of videos a week, just like showing people how to sell on Amazon. And then obviously there's plenty of other resources and stuff up in my bio or down below. Like I said, depending on where you guys are watching, all kinds of stuff, a list of where I source inventory from, exactly how I source inventory, all that good stuff. Yeah. Let me know questions. What is average ROI? Yeah. So typically for reselling, you're going to make about 30 to 40% ROI. And if you're going physically out to retail stores, it's going to be higher because you have less competition. The way I like to do it, which is mostly just buying things from online websites, that tends to run about 30, 40% ROI. So running through that example, I know everyone wants to talk about goals and that kind of thing. So let's say your goal is to make $3,000 a month on Amazon, just like for clean numbers. If you want to make $3,000 in profit, that probably means you spent about $10,000 on products, right? And if that sounds terrifying, I didn't have $10,000 when I started either. I had like $1,000, then I just kind of snowballed my money. That's kind of how you can like reverse engineer your goals. What's up, Lafoni? How you doing? Can you talk about Etsy? I have no clue what selling on Etsy is like. So no, I cannot talk about Etsy. I sell on Amazon and Walmart, as well as like a little bit of stuff on like Temu and eBay, that kind of thing, but mostly Amazon, Walmart. Let's see. Where can you find all the brands you are ungated in? Yeah, so go to Boxem, click bulk ungating, and then run the scan. So you can run that scan, and most new sellers, when they do the Boxem bulk ungate, they'll get 50 to 100 brands ungated for free. So that'd be a good place for you to start, Jennifer. You can also plug in your own like custom list of things to try to ungate for free as well. Let's see, when you're usually on here. I'm always streaming this time on Tuesdays and Thursdays, as well as just kind of randomly. But yeah, like if you guys want to know, you want to know when I'm going live and streaming, that kind of thing. Honestly, the best thing to do is to go onto YouTube, and those of you guys that are already on YouTube, just click a little bell, that kind of thing. I know it's cheesy and YouTubery, but go on YouTube, click the bell, and then you get a notification when I'm going live if you want to come chop it up and talk Amazon. What's the YouTube video again? Yeah, so if you guys want to just learn how to sell on Amazon for free, just look up Fields of Profit free course. I made pretty much every year I make an updated free course. So this one came out in January. It's like 5 hours long, breaks down every step of the process in terms of becoming an Amazon seller. Let's see. Do you have a favorite category to sell? Personally, I've just gotten pretty good at selling like clothes, shoes, beauty, that kind of thing over the years. But yeah, I mean, they all can be good to sell. All of them kind of have pros and cons. So yeah, if you guys are curious about selling in specific categories, I'd be happy to kind of share a little bit of thoughts on that. So let me know if you're like looking into something specific. Let's see. You tried that scan on Boxem. For some reason, half the items are not profitable. Okay, yeah. So when you're talking about auto ungating things, Apple, you don't care about profit when you're looking just for a big list of things to ungate, right? So just plug in a bunch of those brands into the ungate checker, and then, like I was saying, don't just like go off that one product. Plug that entire brand name into a Seller Amp Advanced Search, and then that'll show you like all the best stuff within that, for sure. Cool. Have a good one, buddy. Have a good one, buddy. I'm pretty much right there with you. So you can, have a good one, man. Don't come back. Thank you. Let's see. Affiliate marketing. No, I don't do affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing, it can work. I know, especially on Amazon, the Amazon influencer program is really big. That's just not something I do personally. Let's see. you've sent multiple items that you're ungated in, they revoke it once you receive the item at FBA. That would be fairly rare. But if they like regate it, usually they're going to send you an email ahead of time letting you know like, hey, you have 2 weeks to sell out. Like that's happened on some of the brands that we've sold. Usually, you should actually it'll be like a month or two typically. And then if you can apply again, just apply again and get it back. Yeah. Sweet. Let's see. How do you find out how many items of a product you need to buy in order to get ungated? So like when you go apply on Amazon, it'll tell you how many units to buy. Yeah, and for generally from what I've seen, the ones that ask for like a ton of units, I have still used like lower unit counts and it still works, but typically those tend to be a little bit stricter. So if you're going in and applying for brands and you see brands that only ask for 10 units, those tend to be a little bit easier to ungate than the ones that ask for like 400. Let's see, how many optimized shipments do you do per month? So we do a lot of 2D on Boxem, to be honest, but the usual breakdown is to optimize shipments that are over 200 pounds, and then use 2D on shipments that are under 200 pounds. That's typically where I've seen it to be. Like it just makes that like cost per pound wise, because if you make an optimized shipment with 50 pounds worth of stuff, you have 5-10 pound boxes and your dimensional weight's not going to be very good. So it'll be like a lot more expensive per pound. Sweet. Yeah, good vibes. Let me know here on TikTok, Facebook, wherever you guys are at. Let me know if you guys have questions about selling on Amazon here. See, how do you know to price drop an item? Good question. Yeah. So obviously not every item you buy is going to be like perfect, right? So when you are going in, just kind of set some guidelines before you buy a product on when you would kind of make those price changes and stuff. So like for me personally, usually I'll wait 3 to 4 weeks to lower the price, like at least aggressively lower the price to keep making sales. That'll usually go to like a 15-20% ROI. Then after 45 to 60 days, I'll cut to close to break even. And then usually if it hits 90 days and I'm still not selling any of it, I'm just going to cut the price to whatever I need to sell it at. But yeah, that's going to be typical. That's going to usually be like the way things can go wrong for reselling, right? When we're not like creating our own products and stuff, we can just exist. We have existing demand to fall back on, but obviously not every product you buy is going to perfectly be as profitable as you always hoped, right? So yeah, just set some guidelines for yourself ahead of time, basically. Another good, just like logical question to ask yourself before you lower your prices and like cost yourself profit, is just ask yourself, like, is there a reason why the price on this item might go back up soon? Because you don't want to list something and then, 2 months later, it's like summer, for example. Let's say right now you have slip and slides in your inventory, just like a nice seasonal example. You probably wouldn't want to sell your slip and slides super cheap right now because they're right about to be selling for more money and they're about to have more demand. It's just like a simple example. What's your split between wholesale and RAOA? Maybe like 2 to 5% wholesale, if that. Yeah, I think I placed like one wholesale order in last year. So yeah, pretty much all just online arbitrage. So the way like my like day in the life, if you want to look at it that way, in terms of like my Amazon business, usually I'll log in, I'll check and see how much money the team spent the day before. I'm going to make sure profits looking good, that kind of thing. I'm going to reach out to any of my team members that might like need a hand or something like that. But then for the most part, they're just kind of finding things from websites and listing them. And the way I've built my business is I have a team of virtual assistants that source products, and then the lead of my team, who's also a virtual assistant, that I kind of trained over a long time. He's going to review those products, decide how much we want to buy, and then the team's also going to buy those products. So yeah, that's kind of like the typical flow. So they're going to buy those products, and like I said, wake up, repeat, check in the morning, how much money did they spend? Things look good, probably so. Cool. Keep it going. So yeah, the main thing to remember, like the first sale you make's the hardest one, right? The first, especially like getting to $10,000 is much harder than going from 10 to 100,000. Because to get to $10,000, you have to understand like what does a good item look like? How do I manage my cash flow? Like all these different smaller factors. But then after you've hit like, usually I'd say like around 10 to 20,000 in revenue is where things just start to click a little bit more. And then it's like, okay, now how do I repeat that? How do I find that next item faster? And it naturally becomes easier to find that next item because you did the prior research. It's like, oh, last time I found an item on this website, I needed a 25% coupon and it was in this brand. I bet there's some other things in that brand with a 25% coupon that are profitable, right? So a lot of that knowledge starts to stack. So yeah, I just remember like super early on in my business being very overwhelmed, thinking like, no, there's no way I can find profit, that kind of thing. Like, I actually, tried for like a couple months, kind of gave up on online arbitrage and came back because it like didn't make sense to me at first. But obviously, glad I did. Let's see. When would you need to use a reprice? You have like 200 items. Oh, Apple, yeah, get a repricer, my man. Yeah, so like a repricer just kind of like automatically change your prices to stay between your min and max price, that kind of thing, making sure you're making max profit. I like using Flash Pricer for that personally, Apple. Yeah, if you have 200 products, you're gonna have an awesome sales day when you turn on that repricer for the first time, for sure. Let's see. Having a VA is beneficial. Yeah, at the right time. So yeah, virtual assistant, VA, just someone you can basically hire, usually from like Philippines, Colombia, Venezuela, that kind of thing. So it's like a little bit cheaper. Provide a pretty good job over there. And then yeah, you kind of train them on the things you're already good at. So I think a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm going to start a business and then just hire people to do all the work for me, right? Like, okay, the people you hire, like you better hope the people you hire are really good because you have no idea how to like improve them and stuff. For sure. What's up, Avery? How you doing, man? Hope to see a bunch of you guys at Miami Sellers Conference this year as well. Mentioned it a few times already, but yeah, Avery's in chat. He's the host of Miami Sellers Conference there. It's in about a month. We'll be a bunch of cool Amazon sellers in Miami. It's always my favorite Amazon event of the year. So if you guys are local to Miami, you want to talk to the Amazon sellers, it's a good place to do it. Let's see. When did you start forming a team and why? Yeah, so like my Amazon business was like kind of just getting started, right? I kind of got, on my own, scaled to like $20,000 to $30,000 a month is kind of where I was at. I was in college full time at that point. So I was like, all right, I know how I would spend more money on products. I have the money from the profit of my Amazon business. I've made enough money that now I've got a pretty good amount of capital to spend, and I'm just running out of time to figure out how to spend it. So then I hired people to go in and help me look for products, basically. Especially focusing on saying, hey, I like sourcing at this website and I do these 3 sourcing methods here. Do this for me. They're going to be really good at replicating that, and I'm going to go learn new things. It's kind of how I look at it. Let's see. Watch videos on YouTube. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. You want to Boxem shirt? So there is actually there's a public link for it. We made like a weird, like one of those like print on demand sites. If you guys do want a Boxem t-shirt, the link's in like the Amazon Launchpad Discord. Or you can just like shoot me a DM if you want the one of the Boxem t-shirts. Very informative. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you hopping on the stream, Ryan. What's average startup cost? I had like $1,500 when I started. If you have less than $1,000, it can be kind of tricky. If you have like 3,000 to 5,000, that's amazing. Let's see. What would you recommend? Yeah, kind of in the same vein. Sim said, would you recommend for someone who only has $2,000 to start selling on Amazon and has no other income stream? Okay, so if you said you have no other income stream, then Amazon is not your business model. I'm gonna be straight up with you. You need to have cash coming in to be an Amazon seller. I know I'll see a lot of people who are like, I'm desperate to, I lost my job. I'm desperate to make money. Can I sell on Amazon? No, you need to have a little bit of stability. To be able to go spend thousands of dollars on products, right? So if that's where you're at right now, like do something service-based or just like do gig work, right? Get yourself to a point where you can afford to throw at least $1,000 at something and learn the basics and just kind of grow from there. So yeah, I would be careful, Sims. Yeah, if you're like super broke, you can also sell like books and stuff. That's how I started, like used books, that kind of thing. It's a little bit harder than when I started to sell used books now, but it's still pretty viable. Let's see. You have 3K. Perfect. Yeah, that's a good place to start. Let's see. Who made Boxem? Our awesome engineering team. Let's see. You sell 215 units. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, so you're asking like when do you get auto engates? Yeah, so Amazon will start automatically approving you to sell new brands without invoices. Right away, you'll get a decent amount of brands. I would say after you make your first like 10,000, maybe $5,000 to $10,000 in sales, and you run that auto engate checker on Boxem again, you're going to get a much bigger list of things that are auto engated. Let's see. What's the insurance and benefit situation look like after you consistently make more than a normal job? Yeah. So I seen you talking like health insurance and stuff. So I actually just had to do this myself. Turn in 26 not too long ago. So basically, like, had to get my own corporate health insurance plan for my S corporation is kind of how it works. If you're talking about like health insurance and stuff, if you're just talking about like standard business insurance, you can just do that through like Next, the Hartford, one of those. Amazon requires you to have business insurance after you sell $10,000. Let's see. Couple of you guys asking about like mentors and stuff on TikTok. So just learn as much as you can for free. I have a ton of free content on YouTube. If you're like brand new to selling on Amazon, you don't really need like super direct help. We have things like the FBA roadmap, which can be helpful, but yeah, you don't need like a mentorship program or anything. Let's see. A lot of sellers recommend wholesale because it provides invoices and reduces account risk. So wholesale and online arbitrage are equally as risky. If not wholesale being a little bit more risky, because if you're buying from a small mom and pop distributor, that even if they are very legit, if they are not willing to provide their invoices from when they bought from like a big wholesaler, then you might be in trouble, right? Versus if you buy from a big website, Amazon obviously knows that when you buy things from Walgreens.com, those things are legitimate. They might not know that, Deborah's distribution down the street from you also buys directly from Procter and Gamble or something like that. They've never heard of Deborah's distribution. And so that could be a much less legitimate invoice versus just buying from Walgreens. Yeah. Health insurance, 401k. So I don't know about like the 401k matching and stuff. I think that's usually like, you'd basically just be paying more employee expenses for you as your employee, I guess, if you want to like match your own 401k. That is interesting, but for sure, 10K a month in sales, they require business insurance typically. Yeah, for sure. Let's see, how do you do this in Zimbabwe? That's maybe the first time someone from Zimbabwe has asked that. So whether you're right down the street in the US or whatever, if you don't want to have things in your warehouse, or if you're international, just use a prep center. Yeah, just send stuff to a prep center, let them prep it all for you, and send it off there. Let's see, what's a bad offer count to you? Is 60 offer count on Keep It too high for you to buy in? So not necessarily. Like, to be honest, I don't really look at the number of offers on a listing very often. I'm looking at the trend of offers, if that makes sense. I'm not looking to be like, oh, there's 55 sellers on this listing, it's too many. It's like, okay, well, there's 55 sellers on it right now, but there used to be 100 and it was still profitable. That'd be like a pretty dramatic example. I don't know if I could think of something like that. But as long as you can verify that, hey, this listing with a lot of this listing, even if it has a lot of sellers, it stays profitable, that's fine. But if you see it's like rapidly spiking up, then what's up, Steven? How you doing, man? We got a legend in the chat. Steven does business. He sold it was like 1.5, 1.7 million in a single month doing online arbitrage, just buying stuff from websites. Hope you're doing good, Steven. Let's see. Question on an S corp: would a 50K salary be considered reasonable? If you, I would assume. I'm not an accountant though. I would talk to your accountant about that. Still, yeah. Especially I know you're in chat and stuff. So if you're saying 120K profit, is that just like what you made? Was it? Oh, it was 3.4 million. Yeah, I got my numbers way off. So yeah, Steven in chat, you did 3.4 million in December alone, buying stuff from websites and selling it. It's on the Instagram chat for those of you guys on like other platforms. Let's see. Would you risk getting on an item that has a listing on Amazon but no info on it, and the price is so if there's no information on it, then probably not. I'd want to see like the specific product. Let's see. Milkman, you said only 3.4 million. I like that. Somebody's calling you out over here on TikTok, Steven. They said you only did 3.4 million. I like that energy. Let's see. At what point did you hire a CPA or bookkeeper? I'm pretty sure it was if it wasn't year 1, it was year 2. Yeah, it's pretty soon. Like, once you start making a reasonable amount of profit, like, just talk to someone about how to have them help. For sure. Let's see. We have a free course you can take, 100K, if you're asking about courses. So yeah, just look up Fields of Profit free course. So there's also a free course in my bio with like a bunch of spreadsheets and PDFs and videos, that kind of thing. Sweet. I just told you it's free, man. Okay. It's a YouTube video, bro. You were ready to hate no matter what I said. That's funny. Let's see. You've been trying to find your first products through auto-engating and storefront stalking. have yet to find a product. I mean, so go and look. So go and figure out like what's cheap today, and then compare that to the list of brands that you auto ungated. That'll make it a lot simpler, right? Don't just like randomly start looking up brands. Try to figure out what niches have good sales and that kind of thing. How to find a winning product. See, now you've changed your tune, huh? Like you come in with some negative energy, and now you want some help. All right. Go take the free course. I'll throw it right back at you. Let's see. Amazon told you they couldn't verify your documents for an ungate. It's a wholesale invoice combined with target invoice. Just submit again. It sounds like you're submitting exactly what you're needing there. A lot of the people that work at Amazon and like review ungating applications are just sitting there spamming decline all day, even if you submit like real things. Like for example, my friend Jonah, who we do like the wholesale streams with, he buys directly from brands doing wholesale, and they still will decline his ungates every now and then. I've heard this from people who buy directly from brands, working directly from brands, that kind of thing. It just proves you have to submit multiple times to get ungated right now. It's been like that for like a year, I'd say. Let's see. So far, you've sold. I think you mean $200 or $300. I don't know exactly what that means, but glad you're selling some stuff, man. Let's see. I have no idea what that means, Legion. Sounds good. Sounds good. Thanks, Lil Bro on TikTok. What would be the easiest trick to make sure a product is matching the Amazon listing? Just check like the product ingredients. If it's clothing, check like the fabric blend. Like comparing pictures, that kind of thing. One thing I'll get asked about a lot, like what if the packaging on the item I bought has been updated versus the Amazon listing? Just make sure customers are still getting the exact same thing, and it's fine if like the design has changed, but a lot of times just watch out for products, like especially right now, companies, instead of raising prices on things, are just reducing how much is in the container. Like classic like shrinkflation is the word. I'm sure you heard it before. So watch out for those types of listings where they update the branding, but really they're shrinking the product, and now it's like you're gonna have unhappy customers if you are not careful there. What do you do if you can't find a website that has a good discount price? I mean, there's pretty much always going to be something on sale. Like you can look at places like Capital One Shopping. It'll show you a bunch of coupons that are going on, that kind of thing. Check for discounted gift cards. Go to Card Bear and see what websites have really high discounted gift cards today. Between the hundreds, if not 1,000+ websites you can buy from for doing online arbitrage, there's going to be something on sale today. Let's see. For FBM, do you use your home address or set up a mailbox? You can do either. Most people just be shipping out of their house, or like a warehouse if you ever scale and do that. What's your preferred platform for maintaining expenses? So yeah, just you can track all that on Boxem. Yeah, so everything that happens on Amazon you'll track on Boxem. And then usually, honestly, I'll just use like a Google Sheet or something for like boxes and software, that kind of thing. It's not that complicated in terms of like expenses outside of Amazon are very simple, but with Amazon, like there's a lot of like random fees and stuff. So you definitely want to just kind of have that monitored automatically. Would you hop on a listing with no monthly sold, but the offer count is low and the BSR is sold and is low? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Probably just like a data glitch or something like that. Let's see. How does the email stacking method work again? Yeah, you've been in the weeds, Ryan. I like it. So you can go basically just like anytime you see a website, you'll see it a lot as just like a normal person, where it'll be like, hey, plug in your email and you'll get 20% off your next order. You can do that infinitely if you do, you said your name's Ryan, right? So let's say your email is ryan@gmail.com. Okay, that's a 20% off code. All right, now do Ryan plus whatever you want. I'll spam the keyboard usually. And then that generates a new coupon code. But the way Google, like Gmail works is it'll redirect it to ryan@gmail.com. So you can make infinite coupon codes that way. And that can make a big difference. So for example, like Dick's Sporting Goods, a lot of times that's one of the only ways to make products cheaper at Dick's Sporting Goods is to go and plug in your email and use that coupon code over and over and over and over again. Let's see. What's the difference between Boxem and SellerAmp? So Boxem's for managing your inventory, listing, all that kind of stuff, right? Everything that's not sourcing the product. You can use the sourcing AI a little bit. SellerAmp's going to be like actively how you can source the inventory. So Boxem to manage the store, SellerAmp to find the stuff to sell in the store, if that makes sense. Yeah. Is it better to ship to yourself, or is it okay to let Amazon ship it for you? So that's like the different business model or the different fulfillment methods. So you would do FBM if you want to ship direct to customer. You would do FBA if you want to ship into the warehouse, and then let them ship to your customers for you. Personally, I do FBA for most of the year, and we'll add on a little bit of FBM during Q4, like the holiday rush. When you start finding things on, for example, a Black Friday sale, if you try to send that into Amazon's warehouse, it's probably not going to check in and start selling until after Christmas, which you obviously want to ride that demand, like nice high prices, that kind of thing. So yeah, usually FBM for me, I'll use as a tool to sell the item or to get onto the listing faster than like an FBA seller. Any methods to get your FBM cost to go down? So you can usually it's just going to be whatever it is on Amazon. Sometimes with like bigger things, you can buy shipping outside of Amazon on something like a pirate ship or one of those. How do you do FBA for arbitrage? You need to find a markup of like 300%. So no, like, so for example, the average product for our store, we're going to pay about half of what we want to sell it for. So you're saying it would be like 100% markup basically, right? Which after you consider how many things have, coupons and buy one, get one sales and discounted gift cards and loyalty rewards programs, all these different ways that you can save 20% here, 10% here, another 5% here. That makes a lot of things profitable. Where even if a customer might see it at Walgreens for $20 and Amazon for 30, maybe we probably bought it for 15 or $12 a few weeks ago on the right kind of sale and that kind of thing. Yeah, so it's getting good at buying things from websites is about understanding when that particular source has a really good sale. The best way to learn that is just by consistently checking a lot of those things and kind of building that back of mind knowledge. Let's see. You gross 80K on eBay one-offs a year. You considering switching to Amazon? Yeah, man. Like that's awesome. You say one-off, so you're probably going to like, are you doing like estate sales and is that kind of your vibe? Like used, maybe some clearance products, I assume. If any of the things that you're selling that are in new condition, you should at least just check and see what that looks like on Amazon. That'd be a great way to start. Let's see. Let's see. Do you have any courses on selling on Walmart? I actually did make a full YouTube video on Walmart selling the other day. Just look up Fields of Profit Walmart guide on YouTube. That'll probably take you there. Why do when you put in the Asians? Don't what did they do to you? What? It's ASINs. That is funny. So you put in some ASINs on the Boxem gate. So click the default list. You'll like beginners usually get like 50-ish, if not more. And then you can always input more ASINs and stuff. Although I do like the I like the misspelling there. Let's see. Do you sell in the TikTok shop? No, not personally. Does seem like a decent opportunity. That's like I say it a lot, but like there's so many different ways that all work to make money online. Pick the thing that you can see yourself enjoy doing for a long time. The only wrong decision is to choose no way of making money online. Because obviously important to make money on your own these days, and it has literally never been easier if you're just like a normal person to make money on your own, right? Before you'd have to get a big loan and open a real business or like do lots of complicated stuff. Now you literally you can be a business owner with one item sent off to Amazon. We got to take advantage of that. For sure. What if there's no buy box on a listing? Generally just means Amazon thinks the price is too high on some other website, and it'll typically come back. Or if it doesn't come back, it's usually a sign that the that listing might be profitable, because it's basically Amazon saying, "Hey, this is cheaper somewhere else." Like, okay, I'm gonna go figure out where it's cheaper and then try to buy it all. Let's see. Struggling to get ungated. You need to sell ungated items first to get ungated easier on other items. So no, like whether it's like an account with 0 sales or my account or somebody who's done 10x my sales, it's all those applications are all going to the same people. So you're probably not doing anything wrong. You just need to like keep submitting. For sure. Sweet. I'm probably gonna go ahead and wrap up stream here for the day though. So if you guys want to learn more, make sure you go grab a free trial of Boxem and plug those things into the auto ungate checker there. That's a great place to start. And then when you have that list of brands that you're approved to sell now, go follow any of the sourcing methods that are in the free course or the most recent video on my YouTube channel. There's a new kind of seller amp feature I was playing around with that I think is very cool for that. So yeah, make sure you guys go ahead and check all that stuff out there. Let me know if you guys have any other questions, stuff. Always DMs are always open. And yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in here today. I will see you guys next time. Let's see. Yeah, outside Boxem's does it automatically. Amazon, you have to do it one by one. Sweet.